Burn month here on both Twitch and on YouTube. Working on some more Boros burn. Last time out we played Rakdos in terms of when we were playing Modern. The only thing notable about this list is this is the list we're still running with 4 Cindervines. Main deck's pretty much the same as it's been. Pretty much all 4 of, except for the 1 Grim Lavamancer floating around the main deck. 4 Skewer the Critics, 4 Lightning Helixes with the 2 Skullcracks on the sideboard. A lot of lists are running a 2-2 split on Lightning Helix and Skullcrack in the main. Beyond that, sideboard got a couple Paths and Searing Bloods for some creature matchups, some Rest in Pieces for the graveyard decks, Cindervines both against enchantments and artifacts, things like Chalice of the Void, Landline, Sanctity, Bogles, Hardened Scales, Affinity, any of that kind of stuff. Also pretty reasonable against the Is It Phoenix lists and control decks, and then Exquisite Firecraft is in here as an additional burn spell, and something you can bring in against both Death Shadow and Control. So that's pretty much the basic list we've been running for a good long while. Going to hop into a league, see how Cindervines performs in this league. Last time out it was pretty reasonable. We ended up going 3-2 in that league, with it performing particularly well against the likes of Is It Phoenix in particular, it performed pretty well against. So, see how this one goes. And yes, I'd love to play first. This hand, though, 4 lands, it's pretty easy mulligan. On the play, so I think we got to mulligan this one. Yeah, keep this one, hope to scry a land to the top. Swamp, huh? Usually not a good sign for us, because swamps usually mean discard spells. Sure, take your pick. Alright, so it looks like we might be up against Pox, of course. Seem to be running into a lot of bad matchups for Burn lately. Of course, the mulligan 2-5 didn't help against the discard heavy deck. Not attacking in the Mutavault front when you very clearly have another land in your hand. Yep, they're gonna do it anyway. Alright. Not the most exciting magic in the world. Opponent notably doesn't have a clock yet. So they're probably going to Ravens Crime us or Inquisition us, take the Lava Spike. Or I guess they could just Liliana us, sure. What you got over there, friend? Alright, just need to draw one more spell and they're dead. So one thing they don't have in their deck is a bunch of life gain. At least not in the main deck. They might have like a collective brutality or two. Just doing this so we don't miss our search on Inspiring Vantage, although I don't think it matters. Yeah, it happens. And we mulligan to 5 to boot. Of course we draw Searing Blaze. Morning, Water Dog. How are you? So if they draw one of their... Gonna say they had to draw Shrieking Affliction that turn to kill us, so... Searing effects are terrible. Cindervines come in to deal with their things, plus it also taxes their spells, which can be relevant. Try it like this. Yeah, getting motivated to do work stuff can be difficult. Yeah, I guess we keep this hand. This one's gonna feel like we're on the, feel like we're on the Coddle Zoo almost with the fetch shock nonsense. In case they pox me? They're always gonna pox me. I don't know if pass worth it for that. Might be worth it against a Death Shadow. It's just too hard to leave that play line open, War Dog. Sure. You want to leave the Cindervines in play? That's cool. We've been really close to winning this match, despite all the nonsense going on. Yeah, I don't like the path against shadow plan. Like, I understand they have that sometimes on their sideboard, but it's like I absolutely hate dead cards in this matchup. And thinking about it, Cindervine's just sitting in play is like so much better than a Revelry or a Wear Tear sitting in my hand. Yet another, like, I'm really starting to dig Cindervines just cause. I'm not saying that's too many lands, but I mean, and our opponent concedes. Alright. Well, I mean, that's one way to beat Pox, I guess. Anyways, well, thank everybody for tuning in this morning, whether you're on YouTube or over on Twitch. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing on YouTube. If you're new to the channel over on Twitch, please consider giving us a follow. Right now we're working on Burn Month, mainly focusing on Modern and Standard Burn for this month, doing a bunch of breakdowns of matchups, cards, etc., in addition to playing quite a bit of matches. So if you like that kind of content, feel free to check out our YouTube channel. Link is down below for Twitch. And this hand's pretty solid. I mean, 3 lands is usually one more than you want in your opener, but, you know, it's operable. Huh. So, Affinity or Hardened Scales? Looks like Hardened Scales. Nothing else, we're seeing a lot of matchups. Yep. I should be. Let me check. That's interesting. Wonder what's going on with that. Oh well. Guess we'll have to fix that later. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but because Restream does broadcast to both. Certainly possible I'm not. Technology is a fickle thing sometimes. Well, it's kind of hard to fix it midstream, so. Wonder if it's because I deleted the duplicate streams over on YouTube. Oh well. Guess I'll have to check that out later. Yep, just die on turn 3 to good old Ink Moth combo. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, it's showing, Like, it's showing the chats, but it's not broadcasting to them. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. That was kind of weird. Like, it's showing the, It's really weird because it's showing the comments being translated to YouTube, but for some reason it's not broadcasting on YouTube. Eidolon's not the greatest in this matchup because they have a lot of X spells they can cast for 4. And then get the Boros Charms out of here. Bring in the Center Vines, the Skull Cracks, and the Pass, obviously. Yeah, sand seems fine. Oh, I chose not to play first. Wow. What was I smoking? This is why you don't get distracted while playing Magic Online. Sad part is their draw is so slow if we would have been on the play like we should have been. This would be almost kind of a ridiculously easy game. So if they have a Ravager, we're dead here. We're going to Nature's Claim their own Arcbound Worker. This could go really, really poorly for us. So I'd move it up to 6 counters, 7 counters. No blocks, friend. I could be wrong on my math, but I'm pretty sure they're dead. Attacking with that worker was a little weird. Still don't think we changed anything. I still don't like Eidolon in this matchup. Even more so when we're on the draw. I think it's fine. Let's try to keep their artifact count low for now until we can get the Cinder Vines down. Alright. Sure. I'm gonna say, you can't activate both Nexi and leave up your Phyrexian's core, friend. Just not something that's in your capabilities of doing right now. Last card's probably a Nature's Claim. Phyrexian's core makes this slightly annoying. That's a net wash. I just wanted to get their clock off the field more than anything. Path to Exile would be a great draw right now. No sense in playing that out right now. I mean, at any point, if they draw a Ravager, we're in some trouble. Though, we should be able to keep them from going too nuts. That's a nice one. I was kind of hoping to set up killing them with the, whatchamacallit there. Just too much going on. Drew that path just a little too late for it to be effective. Because if they would have attacked with Inkmoth Nexus and we could have gotten them to tap down their Phyrexian Core to sack that to prevent taking the damage from the Cinder Vines, we would have had a chance to path their Walker there. Not the most interesting hand, but we got, 1-drop spell and a 2-drop Eidolon. Pretty good against most decks. Including either the Burn Mirror or Mono Red Phoenix, either one. So I'm going to have to figure out what's going on with that broadcast later, War Dog. I don't know what was going on there. Okay, likely Phoenix. Indeed. Obviously would have loved to blaze that, but we don't have a third land, so. Yep, definitely. Definitely Phoenix. Hooked on Phoenix. Discard 2 mountains. Yeah. I take a look at it. I'll play it as is at first, but I have a feeling it's like really good against aggro decks and kind of terrible against the Nexus and control decks. Just gonna hazard that as a guess. Unloading my hand, because last time we played this matchup and I didn't unload my hand, I got punished rather severely for it. Arclight Phoenix and Faithless Looting? Sure. Like, I'm guessing it's pretty decent against mono red, mono white, mono blue to a certain extent because of the shocks. But I can't help but think, like, any of the, like, Esper Control, Simic Nexus, those decks are going to be pretty terrible matchups. And the one thing I was trying to figure out was, like, so this turn's going to be hard cast Phoenix, so we take 3. Did I fetch during upkeep? Nah, I think I just take the hit and draw. It's like the worst possible land we could have hit there. Like, I don't really want to draw another land, but it would be nice to double spell. Now they get to flashback looting and try to go off from there. Feels like we're in an okay spot here, unless they double spell us. Yeah, you can Banefire, but the problem is you don't have the real... Like, Arboreal Gazer's fine at accelerating you, but you're not getting the, you're not getting the, like, true card advantage out of, like, Circuitous Route and really getting ahead on mana. So this matchup is interesting. Like, I definitely want these 4 cards, and I definitely go down Boros Charms just in case they're bringing in, yeah, things and stuff. But do I bring in Cindervines? Because they are a heavy spell-based deck, and they do have problems beating Eidolon. I have a friend who actually plays Mono Red Phoenix who has a green splash specifically for Cindervines. So I'm wondering if I'm supposed to bring it in against them as well. I think when I'm on the draw, it's too slow. I think on the play it might be worth. Like, I'm not saying it isn't worth it. I'm just saying, like, your main deck is heavily skewed towards beating aggro, which is fine. And another thing is, I'm like, you have all that, you're trying to get to all that mana for Fight with Fire kicked, but yet you're not running Expansion Explosion. Like, there's a lot of things about the build I'm just like, well, I'm going to see it out, play it out, see how it plays first. But there's like a couple different directions I can see the deck going that has the same idea but is a little bit different. I think we keep this hand. Hope to draw a second land, obviously. So I want to thank for everybody tuning in on Twitch this morning. Normally I stream on both Twitch. Oh dear, are we going to have one of those hands? Yep, we're going to have one of those hands. Well, and that's where I'm like, why are you not running Circuitous Route? Like, looks like their hand was really dependent on those creatures living. Whatever else they got going on over there. I'm gonna guess like a Bedlam Reveler and like a 4-drop of some kind. Maybe, but that's like what the entire regular version of the deck is mainly geared towards, man. Dragon's Claw, that's gonna be rough. Yeah, I kind of figured the way the deck was built. It's possible I should have blooded it this turn, and then... Alright. So we're covered against our next Bedlam Reveler, at least. Faithless Looting. Might have been another reason to bring in Cindervines with no Dragon's Claws in some number in their sideboard. Definitely bringing it in for Game 3 if there is a Game 3. Double Arclight Phoenix. Like, the meta I'm in is like... Yeah? Gonna be hard to beat Double Dragon's Claw. Each one of my burn spells does 1 damage. Seems good. Oh, I've played Kicked Fight with Fire out of a I think I played it in an Izzet Drake's deck, and I've kicked it before, so I understand the concept. We're basically dead here, by the way. Should have just brought in the Cindervines and been done with it. Well, we weren't super dead. It was going to take them a while to kill us, but yeah, pretty much. My thought process is we weren't going to be able to take the time to cast a two mana spell on the draw, but I should have just known that we were going to die to Dragon's Claw in a prolonged game. I mean, at least this league's been like proof positive that Cindervines is a pretty worthwhile card to look at. I mean, am I gonna turn down this hand? Probably not. Always keep the creatures off the board if possible, even if it is keeping some damage down yourself. You don't want to get into a racing situation with them if at all possible. They probably won't be able to bring Phoenixes back this turn because they probably boarded out, got shots. So they would need Manamorphose and the stuff. And the fact that they're leading on Faithless Looting kind of indicates to me that they might have been low on lands. What format and what deck? Are you talking about burn in standard, or burn in modern and mono red Phoenix, or regular mono red burn? Bedlam Reveler's an annoyance there. Problem is they have Faithless Lootings in the yard, so even their worst draws are pretty reasonable here. So many... Pitches an Arclight Phoenix and a Soul Scar Mage. Sure. Well, we know our Goblin God's dead next turn, so... I mean, obviously, if they let that connect, they were dead. Faithless Looting. It's an annoying draw. Yep, so close yet so far away there. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out this morning. Playing some Boros Burn here with Cindervines. Been a lot of close matchups, but I don't know. It's been a few mistakes here and there. I'm not going to sit here and say there hasn't been. But that's why I've mentioned in so many deck techs and stuff that Mono Red Phoenix, if you don't have Graveyard Hate against them, which it's kind of hard to justify bringing in even if it was a burn deck. They do have the better late game. Like, we were so close there, but yet, if they wouldn't have bolted that Goblin God for some reason, like they were holding on to a spell for Arclight Phoenixes, we would have been able to kill them there. But Dragon's Claw turns all of your bolts and shocks, and shock is a much worse card in Modern. So, it happens. But Hardened Scales, Mono Red Phoenix, and Pox. It's kind of funny, of the three matchups you'd say we'd win, Pox would probably be the least likely of the three. So, But just want to thank everybody for tuning in this morning. Don't forget to hit that follow button if you're new to the channel here. Check out our YouTube channel, which I'm normally streaming to at the same time as Twitch, but for some reason Restream is not working correctly, so I'll try to get that fixed after the stream. So what does a mono red burn deck look like, Wardog? Like, what? I mean, I understand the basic concepts of how it could look, but like, what are like the missing slots? You're just like running mono red with a few fetch lands? Like at that point, I may as well just run like mono red with Atarka's command in the main, and then Cindervines in the sideboard. That doesn't sound terrible. Alright, we'll be on the play here for match number 4. Sounds pretty solid. Our opponent's on that stupid Insolent Neonate, or Neoform deck. Because we played them a couple days ago when we went 5-0 with interesting. So now we have one of two lines. I can either... No, I guess we gotta go Bolt to the face. Because I can't actually target them with that, huh? If they have Shoal here, we're pretty much dead. Deck is such horse crap. Bring in the Cindervines, bring in the Paths, bring in the Skull Cracks, down our Searing Blaze effects. Not really a lot. Well, I want to leave in all of our creatures because they do have ley lines in their deck. This deck just needs banned, period. It's so ridiculous that they allowed something like that to exist in Modern. I'm not normally a person that talks ban happy, but that deck just, it's so stupid. It doesn't need to exist. Like, Gristlebrand's always been a very borderline should it exist card, but at least Graveyard Hate can interact with that. This, you have to have, like, Spell Pierce or something if you even get a turn 1. And yeah, I guess we keep. Watch as they... Okay. No turn 1... No turn 1 Leyline, anyway. We could get turn 1 Chalice, get turn 1 Gristlebrand. Are they that afraid of Ensnaring Bridge? Is that why they keep bringing this card in? We ran into Neoform combo. Or... That's what you missed. We had lethal burn spells in hand. They activated a Gristlebrand, drew a Nourishing Shoal, gained 15 life. On turn 3. Yeah, I guess Cage would be a card that could see play. That was fun. Not. Yeah, there's a lot of decks in Modern that, you know, can turn 3 people. You know, turn 3 Tron's annoying. Bogles is annoying. There's a lot of decks that I find annoying, but not to the point where I think the deck needs a banning. Like, even Is It Phoenix, as consistent and powerful as the deck is, there are axes you can fight on the deck. KCI was annoying because it was turn 3, 10 minutes to kill you, but kill you. That Neoform combo deck is just like, what are the cards on their good draws that can interact? A discard spell on 1 if they don't have the turn 1 combo. Spell Pierce, negate. Really isn't a whole lot of things in the format that fight it. Gonna wait and see what they do here. This is another matchup that's not great for Burn anymore. Yeah, but Burn doesn't have anything. Burn specifically doesn't have anything to interact with them on turn 1. You know, I'm not poo-pooing it just because Burn has a very difficult matchup in it. I'm just saying a deck that can kill you on turn 1 shouldn't exist in Modern. Like, people... I think most decks are probably a good matchup for that deck if it hits its draws. Well, that's a thing. Gonna kind of bluff them here. That could have gone really badly if they'd called my bluff. They're going to hit us with a booter. Especially since I could have played the Lava Spike main phase. To play around them blocking. So, yep, Lava Spike makes the most sense. So the worst thing they could have here is Reflector Mage, and I don't think I'm going to respect it. Obviously I have to from now on, but... Like, I mean, what cards realistically interact with turn 2, turn 3 combo out of that deck? War Dog. Path to Exile, Spell Pierce, Negate, and discard spells? Like... Doing that to play around them, top decking Athalia next turn. Because then we'd have problems double spelling and still casting Swift Spear. So, humans. Yeah, like Remand, Negate, you know, if you get until turn 2 or turn 3, yeah, but sometimes their draws just... they kill you. I mean... boarding out Eidolons against an Aether Vial deck, boarding in Skullcracks against Auriok Champion, and stuff. This hand's okay, not fantastic. It's vulnerable to Meddling Mage, it's vulnerable to a lot of stuff. Especially on a human's hand keeping 7 against after post board. The question is, do I even bother killing their noble hierarch at this point? I think I do, because it seems mana is their choke point. Has to take Lightning Helix here. Land or a spell that can target a creature. Searing, I'm gonna say Searing Blood would be ideal, but I'm going to cast Riftbolt here to diversify my hand against them meddling maging us. I don't want to get caught with 2 Riftbolts in my hand, them having a meddling mage in play. Surprised they didn't get their planes, because the planes would allow them to cast Auriok Champion. Their deck doesn't have too many 1-drops we care about. I think I'd leave in Mage over Kitesail Freebooter, though. Hold up Lightning Helix here, turn around, cast it's gonna make things difficult. Doesn't look like they have another creature, though. You know, War Dog, it's kind of ridiculous that of the 5 decks we played, the two we'd be most likely to beat, we lost to. Two of our toughest matchups in the format, we won. And then Neoform combo, just doing Neoform combo things. We beat Pox and Humans, which Humans post-board's pretty miserable anymore. Lost to Hardened Scales and Mono Red Phoenix, and then obviously Neoform combo did its thing. So, lesson I learned is Cindervines has a lot of utility in this format. Against a lot of weird decks. So, as much as I hate the green splash and the extra damage you take, I do think Cindervines is growing on me more and more each time I play the card. It's really impressing me. I think Rest in Peace is fine. Really haven't seen a lot of Dredge lately, but as soon as I start removing Rest in Pieces from my sideboard, I'll run into 3 Dredges in a league. And then, I mean, the deck list is fine. It's just a matter of, like, what do you want to hedge against? Like, maybe this could be another Path to Exile. Maybe we could cut, like, 1 Cindervines for another Path, but it's like, I don't know. That was a really, really, really weird league. Alright, well, thank everybody for hanging out this morning. I need to take a break from both for my eyes and to figure out what's going on with YouTube streaming. I think I might know what's going on, but we'll try it again later. But for now, I want to thank everybody for hanging out. That was hanging out on Twitch and stuff. If you're new to the channel, please consider following. For the rest of May, I'm pretty much working on almost exclusively Burn between Standard Burn and Modern Burn. I have a couple other. I still like Firecraft way too much. I don't really want to change up the sideboard all that much. Like, Path is a very good card, but the more I play with Path, like, in the recent leagues, the more I'm like, I want to draw, like, 1 or maybe 2 of this card, and not 4 of. Like, I don't see a ton of Death Shadow, Tarmogoyf, whatever decks anyway. So, I'd rather have, like, exactly 1 to draw to, and not, like, overload on that effect. So, I don't know. Definitely toying with some numbers is reasonable, War Dog. But, anyways, I want to thank everybody for hanging out. Feel free to check out our YouTube channel. We have a lot of, especially Burn content this month. Link is down below. And beyond that, I'll probably be back later streaming today. I'm not sure when. I got a lot of stuff to work on the channel. So, anyways, this is John for MTG Nexus. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Hope you all have a great day.